20. Square right, and long crest, and bad right. Sharp left, 30. Fast right, 30. Crest 40, left and square left. Repeat, crest 40, left and square left, 1/2 firm mud.
We're leading the two-wheel drive brigade, and we seem to be splitting the four-wheelers. So, and in fact, we've taken a small bit of time. I think we're just 54 seconds off the lead now, so that's not so bad.
Well, I think that's the big story. You're actually taking time back off the metros at the moment.
Well, it appears that David and Jimmy had some minor excursions on a couple of the stages, so we had a fairly smooth run. There was a lot of mud on the road here and there. In fact, there was even ice on the last one, which cut out a few people, but I think it's narrowing down slightly, yeah.
Well, your Galway practice would be good for the icy one.
That's right, yeah. Although I can tell you, I could have done without the ice at 4 o'clock this morning.
Crest into turn bad right, don't cut. 60. Square right, 30 kink.
Day 2 of the Rothmans Circuit of Ireland Rally 1986, and a long night's driving behind the crews, 60 of whom left Belfast at 3:30 in the morning. It's now 8 o'clock, and 59 of them are making their way into Dublin. The lead is still with Jimmy McRae. I say still because you, like us, may have gone to bed thinking that it was in fact David Llewellyn who was in front in the other Metro 6R4. In fact, stage 2, in which that horrific accident took place, was cancelled because the stewards thought it would be unfair to the man involved, Calle Grundle. So Grundle has moved up the leaderboard. He is now pressing hard, ominously in 4th position. But as I say, it's McRae after the 4 stages this morning in front, though he's being pressed all the way by David Llewellyn in the other Metro. Billy Coleman now, he's moving up the leaderboard too, one of 3 Irishmen involved in the top 10, the other 2 being Austin McHale, who had a bit of a scare on the way down, went into a farmyard, but he got out again okay. And also, of course, the man whose car is standing behind us, Vincent Bonner from Dunloe and Donegal. Yes, the Irish still very much involved, 4 stages on in the 1986 circuit.
Jimmy, you've been in the lead, out of the lead, and now back in the lead. Tremendous stuff.
Yes, well, it's we had a bit of an indiscretion 2 stages ago. I hit this accelerator along with the brake and a 90 right, and we went straight into the hedge, so we dropped a bit of time there, and we've now got the car sorted out, and it was all right in the last stage.
Jimmy was, I think, 5 seconds in front of us when we started this morning, and we took something like 20 seconds or 25 seconds off him during the next 3 stages. And on the last stage, though, we'd been running slicks all morning, and I think the choice was right for the first 3 stages. That's why we were quicker than him. But on the last stage, it was the wrong choice, and he took it all back and a bit more. He took 35 seconds back off us, so Jimmy's back in the lead again now.
The man who's missing, though, is Saeed Al Hajri. Somewhat sensational, it must be said. The man driving the other Rothmans Porsche, and the man who had that marvellous low-slung camera which gave us great shots last night. He's gone from the rally, having gone off the road on special stage 12, Bells Hill, near Ballynahinch in County Down.
You know, Porsche, very sideways cars. And I come very quick for like very tight pint, you know, like medium right, something like this. And I can't stop the cars, you know, and just I go sideways and I go down to the field. And the cars are not coming out.
There was no way back?
No spectator to push the car, and no chance to go out, yeah.
Calle Grundle, restored to 4th place overnight, is still troubled by yesterday's accident.
Yeah, the night went quite careful. I was starting up very slowly, and then we tried to come in the event again, and it's quite good. But we went off in the last one now and out on the field and turned around a little bit, but that's the only problem. Otherwise, it works quite good, but my feelings are not what it should be after the accident in the second stage there, and I don't feel so happy to drive, but okay, we try and we will see what we can do.
And so to stage 15, another spectator special, this time at the Royal Dublin Society Showgrounds, the home of Irish show jumping, where for once horses are replaced by horsepower. Having gained, lost and regained the lead in a couple of hours, Jimmy McRae was determined to make no mistake. battle of the metros was on again, with David Llewellyn making a real charge for that top position. He and McRae returned identical times around the tight little circuit. It wasn't a stage which suited the remaining Porsche of Billy Coleman and Ronan Morgan. The 911 couldn't find a straight long enough to show its speed.
And left. Square right. And right. And left. Caution, through there, caution, and left.
But Calais Grundle's extra grip in the Ford RS 200 helped him to record the fastest time on the stage. Russell Brooks has been playing a waiting game in the Manta 400. He's in 5th position and well in touch with the leaders. Austin McHale was 6th overnight, but a slide off the road on the previous stage cost him vital seconds and he dropped 1 position. Here in the RDS, things are pretty slippery too. Hannu Mikkola is facing what seems like mission impossible. Those first day clutch problems dropped him to 58th at one point, but he's fighting back. Quattro is fairly crackling along, but is it a case of for whom the bell tolls?
After the midi right angles of the RDS, we climb into real rally country. 2 stages whose names are whispered in awe when any tales of the Circuit of Ireland are told: Sally Gap and Ockavana. The fans had largely ignored the city centre entertainment, which had been laid on for them, and flocked in their customary thousands to the Dublin mountains. Nature had added snow to the intriguing equation. 27 miles of the best rallying country were now ahead. Jimmy McRae has a 21-second advantage over his metro mate, David Llewellyn. Billy Coleman is only 41 seconds adrift of the supercars. Strangely, he is not particularly looking forward to the next 27 miles, as he doesn't think they will suit the Porsche. But let's go inside as we come up to Sally Gap.
Fast left, 70. Turn bad right. Repeat, turn bad right. To sharp left, 70 kink. Left 30, slow right 40. Repeat, 40 kink. Sharp right to sharp left.
Brooks in fifth must attack. He's no stranger to this country. And Kelly Grundle has only 4 seconds in hand over the English driver. Not a comfortable position. Then comes Austin McHale. These are his two favourite stages in Ireland. Harry Toivonen in the Unipart Metro is sixth, but only 1 minute 29 seconds behind Russell Brooks. And there is great home support for Vincent Bonner in the Opel Ascona 400. 9th overall and loving every moment of it. Okavana, Llewellyn is on the wrong tyres. Billy Coleman is driving beautifully, but he can't match the power of the Metros in the mountains. Brooks leaps the lightweight Manta, and he moves up to 4th place, at Kelly Grundle's expense in the Ford. McHale in his home country, and the crowds are out to cheer him on. Harry Toivonen, who comes from the famous Finnish family, is ahead on the road of another famous Finn, who we are sadly just about to see the last of. Hanno Mikkola retires later on that stage with suspension problems. Vincent Bonner leaps his way towards the Kilkenny service hall.
Even on the road, so over the little bumps?
Aye, over the little bumps, it's more like a ball joint there.
Okay.
Then when you really hit the hard bumps, solid line.
Although the leader talks of minor worries with the Metro, McRae's correct tyre choice has stretched his advantage to a more comfortable margin.
Well, we're 40-odd seconds in front of David Llewellyn at the moment. Then after that, we're really not sure.
You must have made quite a lot of time up on him then this morning.
We took some time off him down Agavana, the last stage. We took 30 seconds off him down there.
I heard you talking about a rattle in the back of the car. What's the problem?
There's just a rattle. It's like a loose ball joint or something. They're just checking it now, and they found that there's a cracked brake disc in the back, so they're going to change that.
You think the Metros are surprising people in the event so far?
Well, it's been going very well up to now, and if it keeps going like this, I'll be quite happy.
The reason we dropped so much time to Jimmy was on the last two stages we went in on slicks and he went in on wets, and it turned out to his advantage. The last stage was very, very wet, and he took 30 seconds out of us on one stage.
Well, the weather is really turning nasty now. What sort of tyres are you putting on here in service?
Well, it's so difficult, isn't it? Because it's 1 minute it's like this, and next minute it blows away and the stages are drying out. And of course, if you put a very soft, wet tyre on and the stage is dry, you can run into all sorts of problems with the rubber overheating and have like been very on ice. So
it's down to guesswork.
Yes, it is really, and I hope that Jimmy will get his choice wrong next time and mine will be right, and I can take some more time off him.
But Tom Walsh, you're the service organiser for Billy Coleman. There's a lot of work going on with the wheels and the steering at the moment. Is there a problem?
There's no problem at the moment. It's just retracking the steering, centering the steering up. The steering wheel seems to be a little off-centre, so it's just recentering it so that it feels better in his hands.
The weather has turned a bit nasty now. What sort of tyres are you going to give him for the next stages?
We're going on a combination, wets in front and intermediate rears, as a combination to suit all conditions.
And just to prove how difficult it is to predict the Tipperary weather, the sun was shining on special stage 18. 13 miles on a fast country lane over Slieve na Mon. It's a stage Austin McHale knows well, and he puts his experience to good use as he catches and passes Mark Lovell in the RS 200. Jimmy McRae holds his lead as the Metro 6R4 splashes onto stage 19. Welshman Llewellyn tries hard, but still loses another 5 seconds to the Flying Scot. Coleman's controlled driving in the Rothmans Porsche is quicker than either of the Metros here. But Calais Grundle is the quickest of the lot. Stage 20, Portlaw. The cars are heading back to Waterford. Llewellyn is trying to dust off the opposition. Billy Coleman goes through, but the car is sounding rough. 3-time circuit winner Russell Brooks is having a trouble-free run in the Manta. But Coleman has a definite problem at the back of the Porsche.
Slow puncture on the right rear. Yeah. Long mid right. 300. Press 30. Quick right. 300. Yeah, 300. Right flat over crest. 80. Slide right. 200. Crest 1/2. Mid left tightens. Maybe wet. 30. Fast right opens. 300.
Vincent Bonner also has his hands full in the Opel Ascona 400. But Coleman's rear tyre is now completely flat, and it's vibrating badly.
And the wheel is taken. The wheel is taken. Go on, behind that now. Keep going.
Englishmen Simon Davison and Mark Atkinson are enjoying the final stage of the day, which is more than you can say for Coleman and Morgan, as they lose a lot of time and drop a place on the leaderboard.
Well, isn't that a shame? No, I know that. My God, the last stage into Waterford is bad luck for us, isn't it?
Waterford at last, and a welcome break for the crews. What an eventful day it's been. Saeed Al-Hajri crashing out early on, and Hanu Mikala finally calling it a day with suspension problems. But it's been a good day for Jimmy McRae.
We've had no problems today. We seem to have been in the right, well, near enough the right tyre at the right time.
Which was the one that made the big difference? Sallygap, Agavana?
Agavana coming down, it was very wet, and we had an intermediate wet tyre, and it really paid off there.
Hopefully tomorrow I'll make some correct tyre choices and Jimmy won't, so we'll be able to grab a bit more time back off him. But as you say, they are very fast stages, and the Metro has got a good top speed, so it will suit the car very well.
Apart from tyre choice, there's been no other problems?
No, it's been going very well. The car has run perfectly. We've had a few small brake problems, but nothing more than that.
Billy Coleman, it was all going perfectly until just before the village of Portlaw in the last stage.
That's right, Plum. We had our annual Saturday afternoon puncture coming into Waterford in the last stage. Not as bad as last year, but it's cost us about 4 minutes. So it means that we're now fourth. We've dropped one place. And I think we're about 5 minutes off the lead, and we had been just over one.
Well, the reliability that these four-wheel drive cars are showing, it's going to be virtually impossible to make back 4 minutes if they keep going at that pace.
Well, there's no doubt about that, but I mean, I'd be surprised if people don't have trouble. I mean, I've had a bit of trouble now. We're barely we're not even halfway yet. The only thing from my point of view is it's a bit like having a goal scored against you just before half-time. It's psychologically, it's not a good time to lose 4 minutes, but I'll be out there fighting again tomorrow.
I think this rally is really showing up the fact that the Manta's a little bit aged and getting to the end of its life now. I mean, we're something like 100 to 200 horsepower down on some of the cars, but it's going very, very well. I'm really quite pleased with the position.
What was your tyre choice like today? Did that work out well for you?
Probably better than average, but nothing's ever perfect on a circuit of Ireland like this. I mean, you pick slicks and it rains, you pick full wets and it's bone dry. You just haven't got a clue, and really you've got to choose something in between and make the best of it.
It's all very fast stuff tomorrow. Can you maintain your position?
We'd like it to be bone dry, then we haven't got a disadvantage against the four-wheel drive cars out of muddy corners, and maybe we can if it's like that.
we've had a lot of problems with our new car, but the circuit is very long and the conditions haven't really suited the Manta so far. But we're very determined to finish it this year because we haven't finished it over the last few years, and hopefully the car is staying together very well. We have no problems. We're just after changing an axle now. The one was in was getting slightly noisy. So we play by ear and hope that's all the problems that we have.
Louise, it seems to have been a day of choosing the right tyres and keeping out of the slippery bits. How's it gone for you?
Well, I think we've just run on intermediates all day because it's a little bit muddy on the corners, so we're just playing safe at the moment.
Well, now, of course, you're years ahead almost in the ladies' prize, but it's not really the ladies' prize you're interested in, is it?
No, we're having a good battle with this man in front here, Vince.
We're surprised to be in the top 10 at the moment because since we have left Belfast, we'd have nothing but problems with fuel, starvation, and as we're coming on down the country, it's getting worse and worse and worse. We're trying to eliminate it. It's very, very hard to get the problem now.
The time rapidly running out here in service at Waterford. Michael Sudstrom.
Yeah, we had to change the gearbox now, the complete gearbox, and it seems that the mechanics do very, very good and quick work because they have worked only 50 minutes and now it seems to be ready in maybe 2-3 minutes.
Are you going to make it in time?
Yeah, we have some lateness, but we're still in the rally.
The problems of running a sophisticated supercar on the circuit are graphically illustrated as the Peugeot Talbot mechanics crawl all over the Turbo 16 in an effort to beat the clock. Only 17 minutes of service are allowed. The skills of the mechanics perform miracles in far from ideal circumstances. There is a further panic. The gear lever is not connected. Parc Ferme is only yards away, but those yards could shatter dreams and destroy a project costing hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Day 2 completed, 3 more to go, and this is how the Rothmans Circuit of Ireland Rally 1986 looks after 20 of its 51 stages. Jimmy McRae and David Llewellyn, last night's top 2, still there, still in front in the Metro 6R4s, and the little four-wheel drive cars, they're stretching their lead in this rally at the moment. McRae going for his 5th circuit win, which would equal Paddy Hopkirk's record, is really stretching out in front and determined to do well and making the rest chase hard. Russell Brooks now in 3rd place with Billy Coleman after the incident today when he had the equivalent of a last-minute goal scored against him with that puncture on the final stage. He's now in 4th place, but he said to us after the stages today that it wasn't over yet, the rally was still there for the winning as far as he was concerned. And then what about Cally Grundle in 5th place after that awful accident yesterday? He's still driving hard in the Ford RS200, and it's not over yet by any means for him. But the top 10 still looking good as far as Ireland is concerned. 7th place, Austin McHale, and in 10th, Vincent Bonner. So 3 Irishmen still in the top 10 and still forcing the running. I would stress, though, at this stage, those results still provisional. They have to check on possible road penalties before the final results are declared later on tonight. So the counting not over yet, but that's the general shape of the leaderboard at the moment after the 20 of the 51 stages. Now tomorrow, the Sunday run around Waterford and into County Tipperary as well. 10 stages, some of them have become classics in their own right as well. We've Slieve na Mon, Kilmurran Cove and Port Law. A lot of rallying to look forward to. It's another early start for the drivers, 6 o'clock. Bearing in mind the clocks go forward tonight, we'll all be deprived of an hour's sleep. I don't know how we're going to manage it. But I think one way or the other we'll have great rallying tomorrow. And I hope you can join us tomorrow night for another Circuit Report 1986.